So the culture came in, the environment, and of course the idea, like these ladies are saying about higher education. There's been talk with a lot of people in the community over the years about what that would look like, and so we just put down some ideas, and part of it was like Nancy said, maybe a grade 12, maybe CEGET, maybe university, maybe more alternative education, maybe trades. But the idea was to have the vision and not just settle on one thing, but just see where that vision is going to go for all those areas. So we had ideas about even buildings, like having a place where a lot of different kinds of programs could take place, maybe not necessarily for a full year time period, but maybe more in like intervals. Maybe it would be a summer program for learning survival skills, or maybe it would be a 2-week period where there's a women's retreat or a men's retreat or a team's retreat. And so the visions are big, and there's a lot of components to them,
yeah.
Things that are all related. So there's those things, and of course, like the environment, besides being a resource for teaching, that's how recreation came in.
Yes.
And we started to look at how sad it is that we don't have access to the river, and what access we have to water is a dusty road that's filled, lined with garbage. There's no place to walk, there's no place to ride a bike, and there's no place to sit if you wanted to sit. So one of the people, Carla, actually took pictures of some of the areas, the recreation areas in on the other side of the river, and this way in Saint-Constant.
Saint-Constant, yeah.
Where they have beautiful recreational areas, amphitheaters, beaches. They have
picnic areas.
Yeah. There's gardens, there's rose gardens, there's seating, there's lighting, and it was such a shock to see what they have and what is so absent in our, in our community. So then recreation, if you I guess if you want to call that part of recreation, we included that. So basically that's what we presented to a gathering of women.
Yeah.
Can you mention a bit about the dioramas and stuff that you made?
Well, the dioramas basically touch on exactly what Lee was talking about. The very first, we decided to break them up in various areas. So the first diorama deals with the founding and survival school The second one deals with other forms of education. There's alternative education, meaning stress management, all the other things that you could have along with trades and higher education. The next one deals with the environment. There's environment as an educational tool, and the next one dealt with cultural center and art as both for the enjoyment of the community, but also as educational tools, and a place for people who are involved in the art to go and either show their art or to learn art or to share ideas with other artists. And then the next one was 2 dioramas dealing with the actual site, showing Lachine, Côte Saint Catherine, and LaSalle, and not Saint-Constant, I shouldn't say Côte Saint Catherine, what they have, and then what we have. And I think that shocked people more than anything else, because it was like, this is what we could have, and this is what we actually have. And we decided to meet with the other beading groups in the community. I think there's 8 or 9 other groups of ladies who meet, and we had it at the Water Drum, and everybody was people. We were asked to participants were asked to walk to each diorama. We weren't going to stand up and give a spiel. And everybody who was standing there talked. And then I sat at a table and people gave me their comments. And people were all thinking the same thing. People, a lot of the people that came had been graduates at the school. Some of them cried because they saw pictures of the fire, and it really, really touched everybody's. It touches you because if you spend any time over there, I mean, even people that didn't go to school there but participated in recreational sports over there, it really hurts when a building is burnt down, however it was, whatever it was, and that the site is kind of like abandoned. And so people had all kinds of ideas on what they wanted to see there. And this is things that they were talking about, but nobody had ever asked them. Nobody had ever asked these women what their vision was for that site and what they wanted for, in some cases, their grandchildren for the future. So that's the first group. And then about maybe 3 weeks later, we used the youth center gym, but it was one of those really, really stormy, lightning nights. So we didn't have that many people, but we had a different group of people, and they said the same thing. Oh my God, that's what I'd like to see. And people came up with ideas around education, like personal things that they would like to see over there. Like maybe I would like to take a course, and I'm not interested in going over the bridge, and I'm not really interested in I prefer history, so I'm not interested in getting a degree in history, but I would like to have courses that deal with history around treaties or things like that, only because that feels my interest. But other people may want to take it as, I'd like to audit it, they'd like to take it for a credit. So it kind of expanded out, and then we made a presentation to the two members of the school committee. The present school committee were there, and they asked us to make a presentation to the school committee, and they actually gave us this airtime from them. And then we're going to make a presentation to the committee that for Step by Step, and we've asked to be, we're going to make a presentation to KSDBP, their community committee, I guess that's what they call themselves. So we just because what we want to do is this is our vision, but we're really asking the community, well, what's your vision? What do you see? It's for that particular site over there. And we had some ladies who said, get us the trees and we'll plant it. That's all they're waiting for. They'll do the planting. It's not a matter, people have to realize that there's some visions that you have, right away people put a dollar value on it, but people will do volunteer work if it fulfills their personal vision or their dream, because it makes them feel good that they've accomplished that. And it's not always the dollar value. And I think the community has to look at that.
So what do you hope to do with these collected visions, and how would you go about implementing some of them?
Well, this is one of the programs where we're promoting what we're doing and getting the word out. It is a monumental, I believe, job or task that we've taken on. But I always look back to the survival school, that it was the same type of venture, where it was impossible. We had a high school, but we had no building, we had no books, we had no building, no desks, no teachers, and the community came through. The community supported us. The parents especially supported us and had faith that the school committee could provide an education, for the children, for the students.